Welcome to Gearheads, your go-to destination for everything automotive. I'm Philip.
And I'm Skyler, your host here to take you on a thrilling journey through the world of cars.
From iconic classics to cutting-edge innovations.
We got you covered because we do the research so you don't have to. So buckle up because this is Gearheads where the journey begins. Today, we're going to be talking about Chrysler.
In 1875, Walter Chrysler was born. He was born 200 miles from the town Ellis, Kansas, which was the main hub for the railroads. Walter started life milking cows and also had to walk 2 miles to the nearest town for oil to keep the house warm and lit. Walter's family had death threats from Native Americans from traveling all around to get to the railroad station, even to get oil. When he was 14, he became a newspaper boy, working hard to put everything he had to put in his mind. He could play any instrument he wanted. He could play the tuba, he could play the trumpet, he even played the piano.
After he graduated high school, he wanted to study machinery for the railroad, but his dad wanted him to go to college. So he declined the paperwork for the job, but instead he became a janitor for the railroad company to still be near the railroads. Walter met a man named Edward Eastwood, and Edward spoke to Hank, Walter's father, to then sign the papers to then eventually working at the railroad and to actually be the machine shop apprentice, his lifelong dream for what he wanted. Walter was in love to a woman named Dia Valoa Folker. That's just I'll give it right here, but that's quite an interesting name. So yeah, I'm not trying to swear, but that's kind of how the name is. He was engaged to her, but vowed to marry her when he was financially stable. So when he was 22, he became a journeyman to the Santa Fe Railroad because he wanted to learn more. When his boss asked him to stay to the railroad company, he told him, "I have nothing else to learn." He grabbed his silver-plated tuba, and if anyone asked him or asked about him or how much he was worth, he'd simply just hop on the train and move to the nearest town. In 1900s, there was a tragedy. Between Ogden and Salt Lake, he lost his tuba. So he saved up 60. So he called his wife and his fiance, not his wife yet, and told her to plan the wedding.
I'm coming home. He bought a suit and bought his first train ticket ever, and married with $60 to their name. A year of settling in Salt Lake City, Walter had his firstborn, Velma. Walter took a job at the Colorado and Southern Railroad Company, where he managed 1,000 workers. Quite a bit back then.
Still is quite a bit. I don't think I could ever manage 1,000 workers.
He had a second daughter in 1908 named Bernice. When she was born, he was working for the Chicago Great Railroad Company, and $140K a year in today's money, which back then was around $4,100.
Anyways, in 1908, Walter saw that you could call a dream, the locomobile, which got him started the love and passion for vehicles. Walter really wanted one, but there was a problem. It was really expensive. It cost $5,000, and that was his yearly salary was $4,100, which was not really affordable at that time. So he went to his banker friend, Ralph Von Veteran, the vice president of the Continental Bank. Walter thought of this vehicle as an actual investment to change and dissect his pride and joy to make it his own. Walter turned his barn into a workshop, and his wife was very mad, but she didn't say anything. She just shut the door to her house. He eventually drove it because his wife kept talking about finally driving it because that's what it's for. So people all around town started cheering for him until eventually he broke down on a field. He told the farmer he'd pay him back for the crop, and soon he fixed the car to go 20 miles an hour, a race car back then.
Walter was invited to New York by James Stereo. Then, when Walter went in the building, he thought that he was going to be talking about the railroad. He was wrong. He was there because he had heard of an engineer he was and invited to. Sorry, did that totally wrong. He was actually invited there for talking about cars, but then he heard about He was a great engineer, and he wanted to work at General Motors. James Serio was part of the finance committee of General Motors and wanted Walt to be on the team. He helped GM become better, but then he became friends with Charles Nash, the executive of Buick. Walt was asked to help Buick for it and needed a lot of help. Walter, thinking he could make their cars the future of automotive, took the job even though he would be paid less. GM even offered more money at their company. He moved out of the railroad business and had 4 kids in total. As a production manager, to help less cost of cars, but still making them better. Walter brought 200 cars a day in 1915 instead of only 40 cars. He asked for $25,000 a year, to which his friend eventually gave him around $750K in our money. After a nice year's salary, he was asked to buy the Packard Motor Company from Charlie Nash and James Sorrow Walter. Walter did eventually buy it. William Durant, GM co-founder, bought back GM, which then he asked Walt to become the president of GM, but Walter said no.
To which he became the president of Buick with $10 million in stock, which is just absolutely insane. Plus the fact he get paid a nice sum of $120K a year from Buick. Walt helped the war for Buick. He built planes, helmets, and other things. He sold his $10 million to stock to GM, which is $177 million in today's money, because he wanted to spend more time with his family. Walt started working again because his house was a smokestack from all the cigars him and his friends were smoking. So his wife told him, pretty much kicked him out and said, "Start working again." So he started to help this car company called Willie's Cars, a $50 million debt car company. He built Willie a new futuristic car to show the world. Walt contract ended though, and so did the company as it was broke. The company was on the market, and so was the car. Walt wanted to buy the Willie's Car Company, but was bought out by a man named William Durant. And at the time, Walter was working with Maxwell, and he was determined to rebuild that car that he wanted back again. So he bought the most stocks out of Maxwell to build his dream vehicle, the Chrysler 6.
In 1924, his Chrysler 6 was to be in the best auto show, to only be cast out because it was a prototype. Walt had an idea. He pulled aside his top salesman, Joe Fields, to put in the car in the lobby instead of the showroom, for everyone to see the work of art and for many to buy.
Today's cars, they have the Chrysler van and the Chrysler 300, which the Chrysler 300 is really cool because they come with the 5.7 Hemi, which is just a spectacular engine for people to do. The 5.7 Hemi was used in the Hellcats, except they had a supercharger, which was just an outstanding engine. And so it's one of the coolest vehicles to see because it is a luxury. It's a luxury and a sports car at the same time. But the sad thing is they make the PT Cruiser, which is a quite ugly vehicle. Now, Philip, don't you like the PT Cruiser though?
The only reason I like part of the PT Cruiser is that they made a version with a turbo on it.
Well, it's just still kind of stupid
yes,
at the end of the day.
It was stupid, but they had a turbo on it.
Yeah, but anyone likes a turbo, so I guess it's kind of right. But the Chrysler van is what they also make today. It's one of the biggest vehicles they make right now because no one really wants to buy the Chrysler 300 because one of the best family vans is the Chrysler. So if I was gonna rank this car, I rank it one of the lower cars still because
the quality is not very good.
No, the quality is horrible. And honestly, if I was
they've just gone down in quantity.
Yeah, they're just horrible cars. And so, or if we go into rankings, we have Caterham, Audi, Bentley, AC, Aston Martin, Chevy, Cadillac, Bugatti, BMW, Alfa Romeo, Alpine, Apollo, Buick, and Acura. We'll show it right here just to give you, to show you what our rankings are. We rank every car in our podcast, and we would like to keep it going. So, but I would like to mention something. I do not like Chrysler. Do you like Chrysler?
Not really.
And so, to this, we think that I think Chrysler should be last, but I'll give it a 1-up because Acura sucks, and we're gonna put it second to last.
I agree with that.
Yep. So that's where we'll put it. So it's gonna be right there, and yep, that's about all she wrote.
And also, we're going to Goodwood this week, or next week, really, on Thursday, and we hope to see many of you there. But if you're not, we're filming the whole entire thing, and we'll try to get that posted as quickly as possible.
Plus, we're doing YouTube Shorts, and so that will be posted as soon as possible, right, left, and center. You got to be watching, and we better be ready, because it's going to be coming. It's going to be coming fast. Alrighty, well, thank you for watching this video, and we'll catch you in the flip.